G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And anyone who's been a passenger in a car will know that some drivers just haven't. They're smooth, precise and totally in control. You feel calm and confident sitting beside them. And then there are the others, the ones that make you tense up as a passenger. They're jerky or reactive behind the wheel, they tailgate for no reason, or they just drive in a way that makes you feel uneasy the whole time. Naturally, as car enthusiasts, we want to become better drivers. And so today, I'm going to offer a few tips and tricks that helped me to become a smoother and more skilled vehicle operator, and hopefully it'll help you out too. And we begin with heel-toe downshifts. Changing up gears in a manual transmission car is easy. You just have to time your releasing of the clutch with the revs falling back down again. Changing down though is a little bit more difficult, as naturally the revs want to fall back to idle, but to go down a gear they need to come up again to a higher RPM. Most normal people change down gears by just selecting the lower gear and then slowly releasing the clutch to force the revs up to where they need to be. Now this works fine if you're just pootling along, but if you get up to a little bit more speed and you use this method, then pretty quickly you realize that it's slow, it wears out your clutch and it's jerky for your passengers. The way to fix this problem is to rev match. You clutch in, select the lower gear, rev the engine up, and then release the clutch again. Using a rev match, you can change down gears much faster too. If I want to go from 6th to 3rd to overtake someone here on the motorway using the old-fashioned method, it takes quite a while to get down to 3rd and force the revs up to where they want to be, ready to execute an overtake. Whereas using a rev match, I can go from 6th to 3rd in a matter of seconds. However, you'll notice a bit of a problem if I want to do a rev match downshift while braking, because to do that I need to push all 3 pedals at the same time, but I've only got 2 legs. Well, the way to solve this is to use a heel-toe downshift. The way to do it is to use your toe to hit the brakes and the side or the heel of your foot to hit the accelerator. And then the process from there is the same. Clutch, change, rev, out, all while keeping your toe gently on the brake to bring the car to a stop. Once again, brake, clutch, change, rev, out. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you can do this a lot faster, where I can go from 4th down to 2nd, heel to rev matching like so. Perfectly smooth. It's just a classier way to drive. The second thing that will really improve your driving skills is your driving line. Say you're presented with a road that looks like this. Most inexperienced drivers will just drive straight down the middle of the lane, which is fine, but it means you have to make some quite violent turns left to right. If you want to take these corners more smoothly, you can either take the inexperienced line slower, or you can make the angle of the turns you have to make shallower by using a racing line. And you can use this outside, inside, outside racing line technique anywhere. Down a back road like this. We start on the outside of the corner, turn in, clip the apex. Now we're on the outside of the next corner, turn into the next corner, clip this apex, and then run right across to the outside again. It just makes every corner so much smoother. And then when the time comes to pick up a bit more speed, then the technique works to make you faster down a road like this as well. And you'll see that when you use a racing line, you can be fast and smooth. The third tip is to brake less. So many people, when they're driving down a back road like this, they just tap, tap, tap all over the brakes all the time, and it's infuriating to follow and very uncomfortable to be a passenger in. You'll be surprised to know that most passengers don't mind lots of lateral G-forces, provided you enter and exit the corner smoothly. Cars have got bolsters, they hold them in, and especially if you have a sports car like this, you're sitting pretty low, so there's not that much that's acting on your upper body. And again, aggressive acceleration just pushes them into the seat, but braking pushes them away from the seat and into the seat belt, which strangles them. If you're all over the brakes, it's going to be very uncomfortable for you and your passenger. And on that front, you'll be surprised at how little you need to brake anyway. Most cars have pretty decent engine braking, which is enough to keep the speed in check. And so, provided you're not going outrageously quick, most corners like this next one, you just let off the throttle, let the car coast in, take a racing line, and just turn the wheel and the car goes round. You don't need to be bang, 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 bang all over the brakes all the time into every single corner. The fourth tip is to watch your following distance. New Zealanders have a major problem with this. On numerous occasions, I've just been cruising along at 50 kilometers an hour, right on the speed limit, and I've had someone come right up behind me, following 2 meters off my back bumper. Assuming they're in a hurry, I pull over, let them pass, pull back in behind them, only to have them drive even slower than I was before. And what I've learned, for a lot of people like that, they're not in a hurry, that's just their default following distance. They're busy thinking about what they're going to have for dinner while being 2 meters off your back bumper. Following closely is dangerous for a number of reasons. First of all, it agitates the driver in front of you, which makes them more likely to do something unexpected. Secondly, because you're so close behind, you then have less time to react if the car in front does suddenly stop. And especially if it's quite a big car in front of you, they take up more of your field of view, blocking your view of danger that could be happening ahead of the car in front of you. The highway code says that you should be at least 2 seconds behind the car in front in good conditions and 4 seconds behind in bad conditions. And I would have to agree. I think a lot of accidents could be avoided if people kept a decent following distance, and lots of passengers all around the country would feel a lot more at ease. And finally, look up. Even I find myself staring at the back bumper of the car in front of me sometimes and following like a sheep, and only when they suddenly start slowing down do I go, oh, there's someone crossing, a pedestrian crossing in front of them. I first learned this trick when attacking a slalom at a driver training day on track. You would think, as I did, that to get through the cones you just look at the first cone and then the next cone and then the next cone, but no, you're actually supposed to look at the bushes kilometers ahead, way up beyond the horizon. It feels weird because none of the cones are in focus, they're all just kind of a blur going past you. But amazingly, your brain is actually capable of processing more information this way, even though only a very small percentage way off in the distance is actually in focus. But this doesn't just apply to attacking a cone slalom on track. On the road, the further ahead you're looking, the earlier you'll be able to spot danger and react accordingly, far quicker than most other people around you. So there we are. If you rev match your downshifts, take racing lines, use your brakes less, increase your following distance, and look up when driving, I can guarantee that you'll be a faster, smoother, and safer driver behind the wheel. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time.